should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints. Scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made interplay. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out. Is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
It was so interesting.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And his pass incomplete.
The It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Oh, look at Thomas, wide open. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first. DeAndre Washington, his first carry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. Flush to his right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
On these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Bridgewater. And he's got Smith here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And he'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say, on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job. Take care of the ball. That didn't happen. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd down, Mayfield. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Working out of the gun, Mayfield over the middle complete. It's Gordon, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. Quick slant there gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
To throw, Mayfield. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And his throw is incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown in the Saints uniform. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Bridgewater now. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They go play action. Bridgewater. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Traquan Smith, 34 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Browns on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go! Green, 39!
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. But fortunate, and oh, that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So all right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in this offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he's taken down, but not for first down. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Mayfield now. This will be caught just inside the 10. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Mayfield looks to throw. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Mayfield with it once more. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That's caught by Meredith right side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first down throw for Bridgewater. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here.
Well, I haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't like a target that size. I mean, that's a big, tall receiver, and somehow he missed him anyway.
Yeah, tempting to just put it out there for him to go get it, but dangerous throw and not on target.
Yeah, sometimes even a receiver with that type of catch radius can't haul them in if they're not accurate.
The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but over. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
One universal in football, when it's a kicking situation, all right, you're kicking a field goal, an extra point, you're punting, you never want to hear a second thud. That means the block has occurred. Imagine being the guys on the bench right now, the defensive unit. They thought they were going to get a cushion when they went back out on the field. That's no longer there.
They had the chance to take a second-half lead, but the special teams unit, they said, not on our watch. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Green, 39! Green!
Mayfield now on second down. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter play. Now Mayfield on third and goal. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Kiki QT, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Now a play fake here on first down. Airing it out deep for Smith. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worry about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it, rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The 20. Completes this one to Meredith. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your
First down.
discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. You got to think this is likely four-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And shutting him off, now open field. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the Saints signal for another timeout as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Elsewhere, they're into the fourth at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their second on the young season. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Back to throw. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, and then